After this introduction, after the question being posed by Yudhishthira to Bhishmacharya, and Bhishmacharya has started narrating about the Sahasranama and the benefits of Sahasranama, who he is talking about. And last week and the last session, we saw about the Supreme, the characters of the Supreme, what he was talking about, he is narrating about and everything. Now starts the important slokam. So before we start any slokam, there is always, we need to remember three important elements. That is Rishi, Devata and Chandas. Though it has been told in the previous verses also, but now formally they will formulate and then they will give it in the sloka, saying that who is the Rishi, who is the Devata, who is the Chandas, and what is going to be the Kilakam, what is going to be the Bijam, what is going to be the Shakti, and who is going to be guiding us and all those things. And then we will be seeking the Dhyana Slokam of the Vishnu. So that is what we are going to see today in our lesson. So we call this as Purva Nyasam. Purva Nyasam. Nyasam means you are invoking that God into our body. See, the understanding of Sanatana Dharma is we are trying to understand that great energy, that supreme energy which we are talking about outside. Also, we want to bring it inside because that's what we always say. Even in the Ayurveda, we refer, right? Yatha Brahmanda, Tata Pinda. Right? Or Yatha Pinda, Tata Brahmanda. Whichever way you want to correlate, you can say that whatever is outside is also inside. What is inside is also in outside. So there is no difference between inside and outside. So we have all five elements, whatever we refer to. All the five elements are also inside our body. All the five elements are also outside our external life, and what we can see or sometimes we cannot see. All those things are also available. So we are connecting. So that supreme which is there, the energy which is outside, we are trying to invoke inside. So as if we are thinking that that energy is inside. So what we do, that important remembrance of those important parts, and then when you think about those portions, then we are saying that energy is getting into our body. Okay. So that is what we are going to say. That is called Nyasaha. So this is one of the mantra prayoga, which is very important. And we always do that as in the Sanatana Dharmam. It is always very important for us to understand that. So let us see what the Purvanyasam Slokam goes. It's a big paragraph, but we will understand that. So when we start with Om Asya Sri Vishnur Divya Sahasranama Stotra Mahamantrasya. It's not a simple mantra, so let us understand it is a Maha Mantra. See, mantras are different altitudes and different measurements or different things. But sometimes they are being given with a very forceful or very greatest element to that, which we say this is a Maha Mantra, a greatest mantra for us. What is mantra? Even the word mantra means mantiraha mantra. That means the mind, your mind has been churned with certain words. You have certain words which churns your mind. So that is called tiraha. So which try to churns your mind is considered to be mantra. Okay. So even a small word, even it is a Rama, it's a small word. Krishna is a small word. Vishnu is a small word. Namah Shivaya, small word. Parashakti, small word. So this keyword, which is sitting on your mind, churn your mind. Turning your mind makes you turn, right? It churns you out. So that's what it's called mantaraha. That which turns you, that which churns you is called mantra. So here what he says, Vishnu Sahasranama Stotra Maha Mantra. It is not one mantra because we say we are going to study about 1,000 names, 1,000 mantras. It is basically 1,000 mantras. Each nama is a mantra. So that means each nama has a big vibrant effect on our body. So it is a Maha Mantrashya. Who has given this? Vedavyaso Bhagavan Rishihi. So who has given this? He is Vedavyasa. So we have seen about Vedavyasa. Who is Vedavyasa? He is Parachara's son. And we have seen that, yeah, Vyasam Vasittanaptaram Saktehe Pautra Mahalmajam Parajaratmajam Bande Shukatatam Tabonitim. We have already seen his lineage. From where we are talking about, from the Vasishta, we are talking about his lineage here. So Vedavyasa is a person who has given this. Vedavyasa Rishi, who has cognized this mantra. Okay, cognition is something which has happened those days by the rishis. So he has cognized this mantra. Vedavyaso Bhagavan Rishi Anushtup Chandaha. In what meter he has given? Anushtup. Even in the last session I told you, there are certain, so this is a grammar. So Anushtup Chandaha is grammar. So in a Vyakarna we say there are certain words or certain meters by which it has been written. So there are so many meters in it. So one of the meter is called Anushtup. So Anushtup Chandaha. And who is the person, who is the Devata here? Sri Mahavishnu Paramatma Sriman Narayano Devata. So here comes the person. What he says, the Devata here is Mahavishnu, and also not an ordinary person. Mahavishnu Paramatma. So this is something which he is giving the superlative degree for him. Right? Superlative degree. What is that? He is supreme. He is saying that. So Mahavishnu Paramatma. So see, he is out. So Paramatma is that which is higher. Okay. So if you talk about, if you are saying in an abstract sense, so say for example, in Sanatana Dharma, in Upanishad and all, we talk about a big concept called Brahman. What is Brahman? Brahman is considered to be the supreme consciousness. Now, have anyone noticed how it is? We always say Brahman is formless. And we say it is one. The unity is coming with only from the Brahman consciousness. That is that's the highest consciousness. If you want to go with the Maharishi's Mahesh Yogi's word, it is called unity consciousness. That which is highest, supreme. So now that supreme, does it have any form? We don't know. We have no idea how the form is. Then the Brahman stage, it doesn't have a form. When it comes to the second stage, what is the second stage? What we always understand, Brahman exhibit itself as Purusha. I hope this is a little bit of an abstract, but still it will be very good, because this is where our all other philosophies, we call it as a Sankhya Yoga. The Sankhya philosophy talks about, and the Brahman stage, it is formless. Then it exhibits into a certain stage, which is called Purusha. On the Purusha stage, at least it has a little bit form, but still it is not, it is beyond our comprehension. It is beyond our comprehension, but still there is something which is attached with that. All right. So because we have to understand some way, we have to understand that Brahma, because it is not easy for us in our understanding how to bring that Brahma into us. So the Brahma needs to be exhibited in some ways. So the Brahma comes as a Purusha, and the Purusha descends itself as Prakriti, and the Prakriti comes into all the other layas and everything, right? So we have doshas, we have the gunas, we have everything coming out of it, Mahat, and everything coming out of it. So this is the Sankhya Yoga, what we are always talking. This is the basis for, even for the Ayurvedic philosophy and everything, what we are talking about, Padartha Vijnana in Ayurveda, everything comes from this basis. So that Brahman, which is coming out, it's a little bit of a highly a non-comprehensive form, which is called Purusha. So you, at least you understand him with certain symbols and marks. If you try to understand, then only we will try to go into that stage, or at least to that vibration. That's why we are trying to understand Mahavishnu as Paramatma to that Brahman level with certain forms in ours. Because for a layman, you need to give a form. Right? A deity has to be there. You cannot ask him to close your eyes and understand something like a formless. It's not easy. So devotion has something, you need to have certain way that you have to clinch into the form, then go into and then you go beyond the form, and then you throw out the form and go into the formless form. Even formless is a form. So you have to understand that. I'm just putting a word. Even formless is a form. Beautiful understanding in it. It is so philosophical, we will go to it. Even Brahman is a form. Okay, so that will be more deeper for us to understand. But what I'm saying is I'm just touching that place. So what I'm saying, even then, to go into that deeper, it needs time. So for us, at least we need to clinch to something. So we need a form. What is the form? What is easy for us to approach, which is very amenable, which is so saumya, which is so happy, which is so much, interacting with me, is Krishna, who is playful. Right? Who is so playful. I'm seeing him. Akarshna idi Krishna. So what is that? That who has a magnetic attitude to attract me, he's called as Krishna. So when I see him smiling, dancing, cherishing, flourishing, you see him, the place where he lived, the entire Ayarpadi, the Vrindavan was totally filled with everything. When he went to Mathura, where is the kingdom, everything is filled. Happy, joy, people are rejoicing, dancing, all those things of ecstasy forms which have been seen in the Krishna. So that's why we have a lot of passion towards him by seeing him. So we need that form to see. That's why Brahman, please descend yourself as Vishnu, as Devaki Sutaha, as a Krishna to me, so that I can at least go and clinch to your feet, so that I have something to clinch to, so that you can take me to whatever the Supreme, what it is. I have no idea the Supreme. So you take me to that Supreme. Right? That's what he says. Paramatma Sriman Narayano Devata. So he is there. So he will take us. And who is that? So there are bijam, we said. What is the bijam? Bijam is a mantra. So mantra which is going to help us. Right? So as I told you, these mantras are going to help me to get into more and more deeper. So what is the mantra? Amrutam Shudbhavaha Banuhu are the two mantras. What is Amrutam Shudbhavaha? That which gives you immortality. A beautiful mantra, right? That which gives you immortality. Amrutam Shudbhavaha. So every time in our life, that which grants you immortality, amrta means nectar, kritayam vai, aham amrde, amrtam brahmane. This is one of the sloka we say. So what is that? That which the immortality, which is somewhere there, which has to come into my hridaya. My hridaya is filled with that immortal nectar. That makes me, myself, the whole, a personification of immortality. Hridayam vai, aham amrde, amrdam brahmane. So when I get that immortality, I am nothing but, I am equal to Brahman. This is the equation what we have. So this is a very simple way of lineage. What is that? I don't know what is there up. You understand? A very simple way. I don't know what is there up. You talk about what supreme, what form, formless, nothing. I know Krishna. Krishna is a form of Brahman. Brahman, he is immortality. I am going to clinch to his form. So what happens? He grants me the Brahma Tattva. Simple. Very easy, right? Instead of searching for that, I know one thing. Let me clinch to his feet. So that's a simple way for us understanding. That's why the devotion comes to us. So devotion is very strong. If your strength of a devotion is more, you have no problem for us. You can easily achieve that. So Amrutam Shudbhavo. So that means immortality, granting immortality, that which gives you immortality, that name itself, by saying that Amrutam Shudbhavaha, Amrutam Shudbhavaha, Amrutam Shudbhavaha, that means that will make you immortal. Bhanuhu, next word. Why it is called mantra? See, these are all the beautiful words we have to understand. Bhanuhu, Amrutam Shudbhavo, Bhanuriti Bijam. What is Bhanu? Bhanu means sun. Why sun is considered to be a Bijam? That which gets out all the darkness. So sun means you don't think about sun, the radiant, which is glowing with the heat and all. Sun means here throwing a light. You are gotten out from your ignorance. You got it? So you are being dragged out of the ignorance. So the sun, which gives you the brightness, which gives you the light. That's what we say. Asatoma satkamaya, tamasoma jyotirkamaya, mrityoma amritangamaya. So even that sloka talks about asatoma satkamaya, tamasoma jyotirkamaya. So which gives you the tamas? The tamas is the darkness. The darkness need to go. So what you need a ray, and that ray should be very strong. Who can give that ray? The sun is the only element which gives you the biggest ray, which can ward off all the darkness. So amrudaha, shudbhavaha, bhanuhu. These two are the bijam. These are the seed word which is going to help. Right? Beautiful words. Amradam Shudbhavo Bhanurati Bijam. Devaki Nandanaha Srashtedi Saktihi. Devaki Nandanaha. Devaki Nandana means Krishna. Sreshtaha. So his son. Devaki and then Vasudevaha. Right? Devaki Nandana and their son. So he is going to be my Shakti. So when you say a mantra, when you say a seed to germinate, it needs to have an energy. Am I right? You just plant a seed in your ground, in your backyard. So what happens? Seed needs an energy. Seed needs an energy because initially what they say, the ground resists the seed not to come out. You understand? See, the ground is initially resisting, the earth is resisting the seed not to germinate or not to come out. So even then, it pushes and pulls. That struggle for the seed, it needs an energy so that it pushes out from its own shell, it breaks the shell, that the germination comes out of that earth, comes out of the soil and germinates out. The moment it comes out, the root comes out, the moment the germination happens, earth becomes supporting that same seed, and then the seed becomes a plant becomes either a creeper or it becomes a big tree or whatever it is. That same earth is helping. So that energy needed there for that seed to germinate. So what is needed? If you have a seed, you need an energy. That should be a potential energy. So same way for your mantra, there need to be if the mantra is going to be your seed, there need to be an energy. What energy is it? Devaki Nandana Sreshtaha. So that is going to be helpful for you. Right? That is the Sakti. Now, Udbhavaha Shobhano Deva Idi Paramo Mantraha. Udbhavaha Shobhano Devaha. So there are three mantras or three namas. Udbhavaha, which comes out. Shobhanaha, which is luminant. Devaha, who becomes the Lord. So now you can understand. Imagine a seed germinating outside and coming out as a big plant and growing as a big tree. Udbhavaha. So you can understand now the word. Even the Sanskrit words you can understand. Udbhavaha, Shobhanaha. So it grows or it becomes a luminant body. Devaha becomes a Lord. Lord means it becomes that leader. Am I right? So all these things is possible where? By chanting his names. So that nama, paramo mantra. Right? Shankavrin Nandaki Chakritiki Lakam. Beautiful. 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 Shankavrin Nandaki Chakritiki Lakam. So what is called Kilakam? Kilakam means it is basically like a door with a lock. Kilakam means door, a lock. Right? See what happens. Imagine this mantra, the seed what I am talking, is in your Kundalini. Kundalini is your chakra. Understand? I hope most of you know the 7 chakras. Your body. All right. The first chakra is your Kundalini. That's where the Kundalini, Mooladhara. Very near to Mooladhara is your Kundalini chakra. So Kundalini is also considered to be the Shakti, basically the Shakti of every human. So what happens, that is the seed, that is the bijam. That has to germinate, so you need to have that mantra so that the vibrant of your Kundalini, that in the process of germinating through the chakra, so that Kundalini energy will start. Right? It will start. The journey of Kundalini will start slowly, because when you start vibrating the Kundalini and then it starts, there is a jolt or anything, even the jolt itself, you can find how your clarity of mind and everything happens. Okay, even that is real. So even the jolt of Kundalini itself, you can see that there is a clarity of mind, and then your thought process are clear. Your thought process will be very clear for you. You know something, you can at least understand, you can at least be aware of many things. Some clues will be there coming to you. Everything will happen. Even the Kundalini, a jerk of a Kundalini itself happens. It happens to many people. But sometimes, by our own Maya, what happens is we are not aware of that, what has happened. So we ignore it and we go back to the same place where we'll just make it rest. So it jerks and it comes, it germinates. Now what happens? That bijam, that Kundalini Shakti bijam needs to germinate with the Shakti. So you have those mantras I told you. Udbhavah, Shobhanah, Devaha. So it comes out. Paramo mantra. Now what happens? It need not, the moment it goes up, it has to stay. It has to stay. It should not go out. That energy need to pass into me so that it comes up and up and up and up and up. You understand? It should not penetrate and go outside. So what I need to do, I have to make my body as a shield to protect it and lock it. So the lock and the key is called Keelakam. I need to protect myself that the energy doesn't go out. So that vibration stays within me. That's the intactness. See, even if you, in the puja itself, you could have seen that there is a puja, what we do, always we have one thing called Kumbha or Kalash. What is the purpose of keeping a Kalash? Kalash with the water we have, the water is also 3/4 filled. And then you put a coconut and with the mango leaves and the top, and then put a coconut. And then you do all the alankaras for that kalash. And the kalash is made up of certain metals only, brass, metal, copper, like that. Or you can keep silver if you're good. So you keep in those metals and then you don't keep it on the earth. So what you do, you always put a plantain leaf, a banana leaf, and then put some rice or even put the paddy grains, and then you put it on the top this kalash and keep it. So the idea is when you chant the mantras, the water retains, because water has a memory power, it retains everything, and those retention is inside. It has to be intact. An ordinary coconut with the mango leaves can keep it intact. So that's what, after the puja, what happens if you just consume that small quantity of the water, sprinkle on your body, sprinkle on your whole house, you get that positive vibration sprinkled everywhere. So now you understand, even the kalasha, which is kept outside, and you're chanting the mantra, that receives the vibration. Think about your body, where you have all these kundalini, even your body is made up of water, and you imagine that you are the kumbham, and you are trying to vibrate, and then when that vibration comes, what you need, you should not exhibit outside. It should be shielded within you, right? You should have a shield. That's what we say. What is that? Keelakam, Shankavrin, Nandaki, Chakri, Keelakam. So what are these Keelakams we have here? Beautiful names, right? Shankavrin, Nandaki, Chakri, Keelakam. So what are they? Shankh, Shankha, Chakraha, Nandaki, Chakri. So these are all the things. Shankha, Vrid, Nandaki, Chakri, Tiki, Lakam. So what are all the things we have? We know Vishnu has a chakra. Right? Vishnu has a chakra. If you see the Narayana Murti, he in one hand he has a chakra. In one hand he has a shank. Am I right? In one hand he has a chakra. In one hand he has a shank. One hand he has a gatha. And also there is a sword which is also represented here. The sword name is called Nandaki. The sword of Narayana is called Nandaki. All right. And then the gatha is called Kaumodaki. Kaumodaki. The gatha of Narayana is called Kaumodaki. And the chakra is Sudarshana chakra. And the shankha, that what the conch we're talking about is called Panchajanya. Panchajanya. So all these are protecting you. These are the shields for you. Remember, imagine this is the shield for you, which covers your body. Imagine, just as an imagination. You don't even think about something else. Imagine these are all the astras what Narayana is having, and it's going to be your kilakam. They're protecting you. Correct? And to that, we are also saying Sharangadanva Gadadhar Idi Astram. Sharangadanva Gadadhar Idi Astram. Sharanga. It is not Sharanga. Sharanga. What is Sharanga? Sharanga means the bow and arrow. Right? So in our Sanatana Dharma, each deity is having a bow and arrow. Okay? For your understanding. Shiva was carrying a bow and arrow. And his bow is called as Pinakapani. Pinakaha. So that is why he is called Pinakapani. One who has that Pinaka as the bow in his hand. Panihi means hand. So one who holds the Pinakam is called Pinakapani. What is the name of Rama? Most of you should be familiar with his name. Kodhanda Rama. Right? Kodhanda Rama. Kodhandam is his bow. Kodhandam is his bow. What is the bow of Arjuna? Kandiba. Kandiba. Correct? So his name, the name of that bow is called Kandiba. Same way, if you go with the Bhagavad Gita, the first chapter, you can see each one's shank is also called. The conch blown by each one, the Bhishmas and all, everything that the name has been given there. So those days they have the name for their own instruments also. Same way, Narayana's bow is called Sharanga. Sharanga Danva. So that Sharanga and the Gatha, what I was talking about, Kaumodaki Gatha, are going to be Astraha. Astra means instruments for you. So they are the instruments for you. That means what? That makes you the most powerful. You can come out with a powerful way. So you are already been protected by Vishnu's Astras, Vishnu's Shank Chakra on one side, and also sword. And then you are also getting the bow and his Gada as the Astra for you, the instruments which can shield you and protect you. Astram. Rathangabani, Charangadanva Gadhadar idi Astram. Rathangabani Rakshobha idi Netram. Rathangabani Rakshobha idi Netram. What is that Rathangabani? Right? So these are all the two words which is going to protect your eyes. Okay, Rathangabani, that is one of the word. Akshobhyaha. Akshaha means eyes, I already told you. Aksha means eye, that which can help you to see. So Akshobhyaha, that is one. Rathangabani, another side. So Rathanga means we can refer to Parthasharadi, where he is the charioteer. So one side is a charioteer. The other way, it is going to be the protector of the eye. So those two things are going to protect your netraha. Rathangabani rakshobhya idhi netram. Tri Sama, Samaha, Samedi Kavacham. There are three Samaha. Okay. So there are so many Vedas there. In the Sama Vedam, there are so many divisions which they are talking about. So that is going to be our Trisama, Samaha, Samedi Kavacham. So those Vedas are going to also protect us, shield us from all the negativity. And what happens? Very good, beautifully said. Ruduhu Sudarshana Kala Yidi Digbandaha. Rutuhu. What is Rutu? Rutu means season, Ritu. We call it as Ritu, right? Vasanta Ritu, Hemanta Ritu, Grishma Ritu. We are going to get Vasanta Ritu soon. We are right now running with Shirasha Ritu. So we have all these Ritus now. Grishma Ritu will come. All those Ritus are there. So we have 6 type of, like every 2 months there are seasons which are given in the Sanskrit understanding, right? So the Ritus are there, Ritucharyas. So this is Rutuhu. That means this is talking about Kala. Ruduhu Sudarshanaha. So who is that? Sudarshana is the chakra. He is the time element. So your season and the time and the Kala, what happens? All this will come under your control. Digbandha will come under your control. Why? Because you are with that Paramatma. You are with that Narayana. Narayana is the sustainer. Narayana is the person who makes this entire universe run. So you are controlling, you are going and surrendering to him. What happens? He will take control of all that Desha, Kala, Pramana, whatever you want. He will get into it. Because everything is from him, right? So you say about Kala, you say about Pramana, because he himself declared in the Bhagavad Gita, Kalanam Vasanta Kalaha. See, he is the Vasanta Kala. He has already declared that I am the Vasanta Kala. Vedao Samavetaha. He has told I am Samaveta. He has already declared that. So all those things are emanated from him. So Veda Purusha. So he is the Veda Purusha. He is Kala Pramana. He is the Kala Tattva. He is Brahma Purana. He is the Brahma Tattva. All those things coming from him. So when you surrender to him, when you clinch to him, so what happens? When he is going to invoke into your body, when he is going to be within you, what happens? All those Kala Desha Pramana is under your control. Digbandha. You are controlling it. All the elements. The beautiful things. Trisama Samahat Samedi Kavacham Anandam Parabrahmedi Yonihi Rudu Sudarshana Kala Yidi Digbandha. And what is that utmost what we need to concentrate on? Sri Vishwarupa Yidi Dhyanam. So there is nothing but what we need to concentrate, that Vishwarupam. The entire Vishwa is his Rupa. The entire universe is his Rupa. The Vishwarupa Yidi Dhyanam. Right? So the entire Vishwarupam is his Dhyanam. Sri Mahavishnu Prityarte. There are so many little bit versions here, different versions. So one of the versions says Mahavishnu Prityarte Samasta Papa Kshayarte Sahasranama Jape Viniyogaha. In some places they will write Mahavishnu Prityarte Sahasranama Jape Viniyogaha. So both are okay. So those are extra words which they have added. What does it mean? So I am going to say, with all this protection, with all this invocation, with all these elements getting into me, that Supreme Lord is inside me. That Supreme Lord I'm invoking in all me, shielding me, protecting my eyes, protecting my entire body. Right? He is into my Kundalini. He is going to germinate my energy. He is going to protect it, shield it. He is going to shield my eyes. He is going to shield my netras, all my sense organs. Everything goes and surrenders to him. So he is also going to control even the Kala Digbandha, even the season, Rudu Sudarshana, Kala Idi Digbandha. Whatever happens in the time element, in the space element, in the total, in the element of all those things will be controlled by him. all those elements, and I'm going to concentrate on who? On the Vishwa Rupam of the Narayana. So what that Narayana is going to say? Sri Mahavishnu Priyarthe. So to his satisfaction, to his devotion, what I'm going to say, Sahasranama Jape Viniyoga. So I'm going to chant the Sahasranama. So if it says Samasta Papa Kshayarte means you are adding one more prarthana to that, saying that please ward off my sin. Samasta Papa Kshayarte Sahasranama Jape Viniyoga. You can also say that. Or if you are having any specific type of you want to seek. Sri Mahavishnu Priyarthe Jnanam dehi me sahasranama jape viniyogaha. You can all seek for the jnanam. Sakalakarya siddhyartam sahasranama jape viniyogaha. If you want some work to be done, you can add that word sakalakarya siddhyartam sahasranama jape viniyogaha. So I want some work to be done, so I'm doing the jabam for that purpose. So it is that one single word, whatever you want to add, you can add. You understand? If you want education or all those things, you can say Vidya dehi me sahasranama jape viniyogaha. You can add that little element to that. You can seek that from that Lord. Okay? So it is possible. So that word is optional to us. So, and then you can also chant for it. It could be for a purpose. It could be for a common parayanam, whatever you want to say. So that's the beauty of this excellent slokam, what has been narrated by that. Now comes the beautiful narration about the dhyana slokam. Okay. So dhyana slokam, this is where the dhyanam starts. Dhyanam means now you are in the meditative mode. You are in the form of transcendence. Okay. So imagine you are in transcendence. So what you are going to imagine, what you are going to see, what you are going to picturize in your mind. Some people, you may say that, okay, so still my any form is going to be a thought. Of course, I'm not saying no, because somewhere you have to start. Correct? Somewhere that thought has to be there, or somewhere you have to say that you cannot totally avoid the thoughts. The thoughts will be there. The frequency of thought is the question. So how frequently your thoughts are coming? Did you reduce your thoughts and then you are getting into less thoughts and less thoughts and less? That's the thing. So one way that what our acharyas, purvacharyas have said, that you can do a concentration on something where you can at least, stop the jumping of your mind to one side. So basically, the concentration is first step for anywhere. So they always say concentration, contemplation, and transcendence. See, this is the step by which you always travel. Concentration, contemplation, and then transcendence. Transcendence is transformation, or we say samadhi. Samadhi is where you don't have thoughts. So concentration is the first one. So your thoughts, your brain is here and there, it is jumping here and there, right? Your brain will jump. It is the nature of the brain. So what we have to do, we have to put them into one side. So you have to concentrate them. So concentration, you need to have a dhyanam. So what happens now? You are in the meditative mode. You are bringing some form in your mind. What type of form you are going to see? So this is the beautiful form what they are talking about. Veda Vyasa is dreaming about. So it is something which you have to think. This is purely sattvic. Okay, it's purely sattvic type of a form what Veda Vyasa is narrating here. So that is what you need to understand. Purely sattvic. And I will say how he is narrating it. And then if you imagine that in your mind, okay, anytime, whenever you chant this prayer or you do it, or you are chanting this Vishnu Sahasranama, you imagine in your mind that this is the way that Vishnu is sitting and hearing to it. Then you may have a different type of feeling in that. So I have tried it. That's what I'm saying. So it's really good, because I usually imagine that I'm saying in front of Guru Ayappan, Shiro Dhanvat Prateshe, Shiro Dhanvat Prateshe, Chuchi mani vilasat. Chuchi mani vilasat. Shaikater mautikanam. Shaikate mautikanam. Mala kliptasanastah. Mala kliptasanastah. Spatikamani. Spatikamani. Nibhair. Nibhair. Mautikair. Mautikair. Manditangah. Manditangah. Shubrai. See how I'm splitting it. Shubrai. Rabrai. So you can put a small word. Shubrai. On the right, you can put a small pencil. So you can give a pass. Rabrai. It is easy. Then when you practice, it's good for you. Shubrai. Rabrai. Radhabrai. So 3 times it comes. Shubrai. Rabrai. Radhabrai. Rupari. Virachitair. Rupari. Virachitair. Mukta Piyusha Varshai. Mukta Piyusha Varshai. Anandinaha. Anandinaha. Puniya. Puniya. Tari Nalina Gadha. Tari Nalina Gadha. Shankapanir Muguntaha. Shankapanir Muguntaha. Okay. So this is the split I am giving you. So I'm just going to chant one more time in a way that usually we do. Shiro dhanvat prateshe shushimani vilasat saikate mautika nam mala kliptasanastas patigamani nibhair mautikair manditangah shubrai rabrai radhabrai rubari virajitair mukta piyusha varshaihi Anandina Puniya Tarinalinagadha Shankhabanir Mukuntaha. Now, this is a beautiful version, a beautiful depiction of the Lord here. Now, how you are going to imagine? Imagine, we all know that Narayana is in Vaikuntha, right? And in the Vaikuntha, what is the understanding we have as per our Shastra, as per our understanding here, is Narayana in Vaikuntha. Vaikuntha is filled with Kshira Sahara, which is called full of milk, ocean milk. Right? So it is milky ocean. Right? Understand, milky ocean. So that is where the Narayana is residing. When I say milky ocean, Kshiram, water element, I think the person who are studying Ayurveda, you can connect the god with kapha very simply. Stability. Okay. So he is representing kapha element. Okay, stability more. So here the kapha is more about stability. Right. So imagine he is in that milky ocean. Understand? Shiro. So Shiraha means Shiram. So we can also come across some of the words called Shirabalam, Shira, Shiram. Shiram means milk. Shiraha. Dhanvat. Okay. So in that, what happens? Prateshe. What prateshe in that? So somewhere in that milky ocean, if you understand there are certain types of in the ocean, when you see there are sand, sand lagoons, they say. Am I right? So I think in Maldives and all, if you just travel in the Indian Ocean, you can see all of a sudden there is a sand lagoons which comes across. And then you can see the deep sea is next to that. But you can see the sand also, right? Sand lagoons. So this is what they say, Dhanvat. So imagine if this is a milk ocean where you can see this sand lagoons are there somewhere. And the sand lagoons are not just like that. They are filled with what? Prateshe Chuchi Mani Vilasat Saikate Mautikana. Beautiful. It is filled with all the beautiful precious gems in it. So it is glittering. Imagine they are glittering. Okay. So these are all the lagoons which are there, and they have lot of glittering ratnas. So precious ratnas are there. So already it is an ocean, and there you see there and there, it is glittering with all these ratnas. Correct? In that now imagine our Lord, what the Lord is doing. Mala kliptasanasta. So he is sitting in an asana. What asana? Asana means the chair. What we can say is a chair, the main chair where he is sitting. Asana, simhasana, that is where we see the throne. So he is sitting in a asana. What type of asana? Mala klipta asana. Mala klipta asana. What type of mala? Mautikana mala. Mautikana mala means already it is a milky ocean. He is sitting on a pearl-studded throne. Pure white. Pearls. Studded throne. So you can't see the throne even an inch of a metal or anything. It is fully white color. So imagine that is also white. So already it is Milky Ocean. There and there, you see glittering of these gems. And then he is sitting on top. There is a throne. And the throne is fully made up of pearls. Okay, Mautikana, Mala Kliptasanasta. And he is sitting in it. Okay. And what is he wearing? Spatika Mani Nibhair. And also he is wearing all the ornaments, all are white color. See, excellent. See, white. See, under also white. What he is sitting is also white. He is wearing also white. Oh my God. Satvikam. Excellent Satvik Guna. What is being presented here, right? Pure and pure, which is called Satvik. The white represents all the purest of Sattvic quality. So now we are imagining like that. So he is on the top of the Milky Ocean. He is putting a throne which is studded with the pearls, fully pearls, and then he is sitting on the top and he has been fully covered. His body is fully covered, or ornaments, what he is wearing, all as spatika. What is spatika means? I think spatika is one type of a crystal. I won't say it's a crystal, but it's like a stone. Okay, so I don't know how many of you seen it. So it's a very pure white and it's very transparent type of a crystal. So if you present any of the body, say for example you put any flower. Say for example you put a hibiscus flower on top of this spatika. That's a spatika lingas also. So if you put the top the hibiscus thing, you can see the reflection of red throughout the spatika linga. Understand? So spatikam is pure, so transparent, so open and so white. Okay, so there is no small, even a small pinch of any dust or anything. You can't see that. It's so clear, crystal. We say crystal clear, right? That is the spatika. So spatika, as a spatika, he is wearing all those spatikas there. Spatika mani, nibhair, he is wearing it. Mautikair, also on top of it, he is also wearing all the pearls. Mautika, moti is the word. So you may be familiar with the word called moti. Moti is mautika. So that is how they are spelling it, mautika. Mautikair. Manditangaha. It's not like something he is like wearing one or two. It is totally, his body from head to toe has been poured with that. All right? Poured with that. So in that what happens? Shubhrair. So he is radiating. Right? Rabhrair, Radhabhrair, Rupari, Virajitair, Mukta Piyusha Varsha. Beautiful. Now comes the another dimension of it. He is sitting with all these ornaments. He is already white. He is already so pure. The purest state where he is. That's why he is wearing the spatika, and also we are saying He is having the transparent nature of the body. He is sitting there in the Spatika Rupam. In that way, he is putting all the pearls in his body and he's been covered, Manditaha, he's been covered with all those things, and he's sitting on the throne on the top, on the top, on the top of his throne. What happens? Virachitair. So there comes the clouds. And how these clouds are? They are also white. They are also white. And they are pouring milk rain on him. Piyusha Varshi. Oh my God. Mukta Piyusha Varshi. They are pouring the milk white rain on him. Already he is white. Already he is sitting in the milky ocean. Already he is sitting on the white throne. Already he is having all the white ornaments. And on the top of it, the cloud is also white color. And also it is pouring the milk rain. So what do you understand from excellent narration and depiction? Do you want to say that maybe in ecstasy Veda Vyasa is writing? No, what he is depicting, you have to get that total guna of sattvic guna into you. When you get sattvic guna, it is nothing but you are Vishnu, and Vishnu is nothing but you sattvika. So that is the real essence of this dhyanam here. Real essence of the dhyana is get the sattvika. Okay, so it is pouring, and it is pouring on him mukta piyusha varshahi. And with that, what he has, anandinaha. So with all this, he is very happy. Anandina. Right? Anandaha. He is very happy. And with that happiness, what he is having? What is he having? Anandina puniya tari nalina kada. Anandinaha puniya tari nalina gada. So he is having one side the gata, another side he is having shankha, he is having the chakra, and he is having all the lotus flower also in his hand. Right? He is having the lotus flower in his hand, and also he is sitting there. So what is this? So what he is trying to give us? So with all this whiteness, with all these things, what is he going to give? Correct? So let us understand what the gathas and what these things are going to give us. So the chakra is the jnana, what is going to be given. Shank is the buddhi which wards off all those things, right? So the elements, what we need to know. So what we are going to get under there, right? Gata, which has been a protection for us. And the flower, what is that? The lotus flower, what he is having in the hand, which talks about the moksha, the siddhi. So basically what all these instruments and ornaments and all those things, the shankh, chakraha, gata and all those things, it depicts such ananda, which is the rupam of the Narayana, which is nothing but the paripurnatvam of the Narayana, which has been given there, which he is also ready to impart to us. Right? Which he is also ready to impart to us. So he is also ready to give that. So how do we get that? Right? How do we get that? So that's what he says. The chakra is nothing but the manas. To understand this, the beautiful depiction here. When we say chakra and shankh and all those things, you need to understand chakra is the manas, the mind. The ahankara is your shankh, because we always blow our conch. Right? It is our ahankara, the ego, which is always there. So this is beautiful commentary given by Radhakrishna Shastrigal based on the Adi Shankara's Shankarabhashya. So the manas, the mind, is nothing but in the chakras form. The ahankara, the ego, is shown from the shankh, from the conch. because we always blow it. The buddhi is nothing but the gada. The buddhi is nothing but the gada. And ananda is nothing but the lotus. So now you can see the connection, why we have that. So all these are connected in Satvikam. So all these are connected in your Satvik understanding. In your Satvik state, your mind should be clear. Your ahankara should be very, very low or no ahankara. Your buddhi should be under your control. Your intellect should be under your control. Whenever we need, we can use it. And you should always seek Ananda. That is the lotus flower what the Narayana is having in his hand. Right? So when you have all these four elements in a clarity to you, in that Satvikam, and you are having that stability, which has been depicted by Narayana, who is sitting in that milk ocean, with all these depictions, what I have told, imagine this in your mind, and then if you do this chanting, you can understand how Satvikam will come to us. Right? Shiro Danvat Prateshe Sushimani Velasat Saikate Mautikana Mala Kluptasanastas Patikamani Nibhair Mautikair Manditangaha Shubrai Rabrai Radhabrai Rupari Virajitair Mukta Piyusha Varshaihi Anandina Puniya Tarinelnagatha Shankabanir Buhuntaka Bhu. Next one comes the Bhupadu Yashyanabhirvya Dasuranirat Chandrajudyauchanetre. So it's a beautiful, beautiful understanding for us. So that's why we always start our prayers depicting our Lord as Satvik. So that's why we even started the first, what is the first sloka what we told? Shuklam Bharadaram Vishnu, even that is white. See, we depict always in the Shanta Swarupam. We always come with the beautiful understanding. What is the understanding what we want? We always imagine the God in that Shanta, in the stability. That's why even in the Narayaniya sloka, Narayana Bhattatri has written in presence of Guru Ayur, Krishna. Right? So he has even written beautiful slokas. There are dashakams what he has written. And the first sloka what he talks about, Chantra Nanda va Bodhatmakam Anupavamidam Kaladesha Vadabhyam. So he also starts with the Shanta. He also talks about the Shanta, which is the Sattva. Why Sattva? Because that is the stability. So remember, the Bhagavan's stability of Sattva is totally different from Prakriti Sattva, what we are talking about, the gunas which we have, which we are talking about the Sattva. Okay, so that is stability, which is more of a stability. Right? Even if we imbibe that 1% of that, that itself is a big thing. So that's why we are trying to imagine the God in that way. That's why we have to think about it. Right? So this is the beauty of this sloka. So we have to imagine and do the slokam in that chanting. So that's what it is, very unique type of a slokam, where it talks about the depiction and it talks about the greatness of this Lord here, and it talks about the greatness of Satvik Guna here. So the entire sloka is only about the Satvik projection to us. Hari Om Kayena Vacha Manasendriyarva Buddhyatmanabha Prakrite Swabhavat Karomi Yatyat Sakalam Parasmai Narayanaye Samarpayami Yadakshara Padaprashtam Matra Hinantu Yad Bhavet Tatsharvam Shamyadadheva Narayana Namostute Visharkabindu Matrani Padabadhaksharani Cha Nyunani Chatirikhtani Chammesha Maheshwaraha Anyadacharanam Nasti Tvameva Jananam Mama Tasmat Karunya Bhavena Raksha Janardana Hari Om Tatsat Idis Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu Swasti Prajabhya Parivalayantam Nyayena Marghena Mahim Mahisham Ko Brahmanebhya Subhamastu Nityam Samasta Lokaha Sukhino Bhavantu समस्तलोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु, समस्तलोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु।